What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Willie Maxwell, what they want to call me. I'm over here with my dude, Brother Will Comer in the house, and my people over here, Sister Terrie Branch, and we bring in the smoke all the time, man. So we got a world-renowned author in here, my dude.
That's dope.
Man, that's dope. Yeah. Look. First of all, I got a book. He gonna put it on the screen. Cause I gotta sell my stuff. I'm letting her sell her stuff. You know how I learned that from my dude, Brother Billy over here. Anytime somebody sells something, he gonna make sure he know, hey man, I be houses. I do warehouses. That joke like, ain't no guest gonna advertise they sell more than my dude. He be like, whatever, Negro. We need to start charging y'all. But anyway, seriously though, Miss Terrie, very powerful woman. She worked with the NAACP with me. She's a member of my church. And she's a renowned author. What made you want to write books?
Well, it kind of happened by accident. I didn't really go mean to do it. It kind of stumbled across that. One of my clients, she was a minister and she was a Christian author. And she was like, people keep asking you about dating. Why don't you write down what they're saying? And I was like, I ain't even got nobody myself, so how I'm telling them how to, date or whatever. And
that's how rich women do. They don't want no, they can't find nobody because they ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke, you know what I'm saying? But she got her own gold though, you know what I'm saying? Right. So if you broke, don't holler at her. So if you see it, don't inbox her nothing. If you you don't make at least 6 figures, ain't nothing to call her, because the Lord don't speak that loud. He gotta be like, yes, Terrie, that broke Negro is for you. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So she's actually one of my hairstyling clients at my salon. And so I just started, after a while, her keep saying that because people kept asking me about dating. And so I just started writing it down. Then she said, come up with a title. I came up with a title. Then I did a photo shoot at Boo Williams. I got with them and did the photo shoot. And after I put it out, it was amazing. It went really well. It sold really good. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm on to something.
Can I ask you a question though? What in the world a photo shoot got to do?
Because I had to shoot for the cover of the book.
Okay, what you had on? What you had on?
Not
cover
me.
Of the book or the back of the book?
No, I wasn't.
No, she said a photo shoot.
No, we had to do a photo shoot. So this is how it went. Once I did write over everything down that I had to do for the book, and I wrote the book, then I had to set up a photo shoot for the cover. Because I didn't want no generic stuff. I didn't want no generic stuff. So I reached one of the young ladies that I did for a hair event for Bronner Brothers. I asked her to shoot, would she mind being my model on the cover? And some of the guy clients to come in, and it just turned out really well. The cover was dope. The book was good. And I was like, okay, it was just a little book.
What does this cover look like? Hey, you got to find this picture.
It's the game from a woman's perspective. So the game from a woman's perspective.
So the book good or the picture?
The book is good.
So the name of the book. The name of the book is The Game.
The Game pretty much dating from a woman's point of view.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I like
broke woman or a woman with money or every woman? I'm just asking.
People try to say
her point of view.
Yeah, from
or
my
collectively.
point
Did you get a group of women together? Or
just add stuff that
just your stuff. Okay. So it's on what platforms it is on?
Amazon? Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, Target, Walmart.
Let me ask you this: What made you put your? Because people were telling me, because I just wrote mine not that long ago, and one lady, she told me I need to exhaust my platforms first before I put it on Amazon. How do you feel about having yours on Amazon? I need to ask you.
Amazon, because they got the UK, they got different ones, not just the US version of it. And because I own a publishing company too.
They translate everything?
Everything is.
You heard that? I own a publishing company. You know that? Hey, so I need to get with you. I need to get mine on Amazon.
We have them where they're Barnes and Noble, Target, all those places. So when you put my name in Walmart in, it comes up on Wally World.
Right.
Hey, you gonna get mine on Amazon. I'm gonna get mine on Amazon.
It's really a dope thing. Because let me tell you, when I started writing, I didn't expect all the connections that I made.
Right.
And when I started going on book tour,
right,
and having fans, that blew my mind because I never even thought of anything like that besides being myself regular.
Right.
That first book reached out to my favorite author. She signed me to her label, best-selling author, New York Times. She endorsed my books.
What's her name?
Kiki Swinson.
Kiki.
She put me on the top. When I tell you my books went from regular to being in the top 10 Amazon best-selling. Number 7.
Then Drake do a song about her? Kiki, don't you love me or something?
I'm going to whoop him.
Kiki, but did he do a song about her?
It was really dope.
Kiki, do you love me?
And so everything, I already had branded myself with my hair salon and other stuff. Yeah. And it just brought everything I do together. That's like everything, my entertainment company, everything I do. When I say God is amazing, He is so amazing.
How much money Amazon take? I'm being
so it just depends. You choose on your percentage on what you want them to have. Of course, they're building the books. So I look at it like this. From a business side, of course, in person and on your own when you go on book tour or wherever you are, you're going to sell more. You're going to make more money from that. It's the relationships that I'm trying to build because the money comes later. So when you get to the best selling, then your money going to automatically go up anyway. So you're going to have to give a little to get what you need.
That's what I was saying because, people, I'm a pastor too, even though we don't bring the smoke. Yeah. And a lot of times a few of my trustees and deacons, they didn't understand why we want to do electronic giving. I was doing that when I first got there. I did that in 2011. They didn't really understand it until 2020 when the pandemic hit. Oh man, I'm glad we own this. Yes. But I didn't care that they didn't understand because those little pennies that you think you losing, you leaving money on the table with the cash apps and the Giveifys and stuff like that. You got to give something because most people don't carry their wallet around anymore. Absolutely. So you have to do it. So look, you're going to have to set me up with Amazon.
And I always say you got to move with the times. You can't be in the Sirius radio world rocking 8-track tapes.
What?
Simple as that.
Ain't no 8-track.
If you want to stay at 8-track tape world, you're going to stay back in it because things are moving and you got to move with the time. And so that's the way I feel about everything I do. I'm going to give you an example at my salon. It's a young lady that worked for me and she didn't want to pay the $100 I paid for that little tub of relaxer. She was like, well, I can go to Sally's and I can get it for $20. I can get this one for $20. Yeah, but the one I got is more quality. So you might get 20 heads out of yours and you paid $20. But here I am, my clients are paying me $100+ for their relaxers and I'm getting about 60 heads out of that tub that I got because of the quality. I don't have to use as much.
That's what I'm talking
about. So that's how I look at all my business.
So Amazon is it? Here I come. Hey man, look.
And not just Amazon.
Y'all excuse my posture. I can do it, man. You ain't got to edit that, man. They just see it's a normal show. I hurt my leg playing basketball, and I had to sit down. Sorry, we ain't gonna edit it. We're gonna leave it in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, but spending money or giving away something, giving a little more than you want to initially, later turns into something bigger, and I've learned that over.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't mind spending it because I know later, even relationships, it's to a point my clientele is so huge at my salon. I do not have to really market. Every now and then I throw something on Facebook just to show off a little bit. That's it. But not really because I have to. So you like because I build my clientele through caring for their hair and make sure they got healthy hair and not just giving you something because you asked for it. If your hair is not properly maintained, I'm going to say, no, your hair is damaged. I can't put color in your hair. Come back after several treatments. And you might hate me at first, but in the end, you're going to love me because now they're healthy.
They like you being real.
I ain't chasing a dollar no more. It's relationships.
That's what I'm talking about. Relationships. That sounds like Dr. John Maxwell. He always talk about building relationships and how you need to make phone calls and sit down with breakfast and lunch with people to make sure you increase your relationships because then people call you based on relationships. Like, when I hurt my leg, it was funny. Like, who else? Hey, man, I need you to preach to me at 8 o'clock. And so people were mad, man, why you ain't call me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I was on the phone with dude and we cool anyway. Like, dude, you come next Sunday because I don't know when I'm going to go back. It's all about relationships, So that's
people
good.
In business, they think, it's a difference in having a business and being a businesswoman. And I'm a businesswoman.
Go ahead. I'm a woman. They got this gender change. She made me feel like I want to be a woman for a minute. Like, the man ain't working. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? She made me want to be one of them cross-gender people. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know what I was. Do I still want to be a man? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do I want to flip-flop on y'all?
Yeah, so I had a young lady say, can you do?
That sounds good, businesswoman.
Because I had a young lady come to me and she said, in the parking lot, she didn't know me, I didn't know her. She said, can you braid? Google me.
Ooh, she didn't care about that relationship, y'all.
Google me. Because that was rude,
It wasn't rude because everybody can't do braids.
No, but
because my friend, they wanted to get braids.
No, but if you ask me, can I curl hair? I don't curl hair. I brush hair all day is my answer. Because that's a stupid question. I'm a hairstylist. Why would you ask me, do I curl?
We're going to work on her relationship building. She got a blind spot right now. That was low. Okay, I would think you curl hair too, so you don't curl hair, but you do braids. So
no, and I don't braid because braid takes too long.
You don't braid?
No, and I can, but I don't. And the reason why I don't is braiding.
No. See, the
Braiding.
thing is that when she approached her in the parking lot, she's
About-
like, can you braid?
No,
Of course
can
I
you-
can. But I ain't gonna braid because
She said
Because not
so
enough
she
money.
should have
It
said
doesn't
Yeah,
make
I
a
know, I
lot
get
of
it.
money.
She should have said,
It doesn't
do
make a
you
lot-
braid?
And I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm-
Because braiding, I had braiders in my salon,
right,
and say they're braiding a head for 8 hours,
right,
and that head is like $200.
right.
If you do the math, I done did like 10 ladies, and
Right.
I got
no. Unless you got,
Yeah, I
unless
mean-
you have 4 people on one head, which they do a lot.
but that's in most of the African shops.
Right,
you don't
right.
see that in all
That's in a
American
sweatshop.
shops. I'm speaking from
You
American.
trying to- she
point
got
of
a
view.
sweatshop. She got a sweatshop.
I had a salon before,
Yeah,
so I
I'm speaking
know.
from American
So,
point
yeah.
of view. So
yeah.
with that being, and then a lot of times with that, you
Y'all
got
tripping
braids
me
that
out.
look different on all different sides, and they come to the braiders that work in the American shops later and talk about, this side look different from this side. Well, you had 3 different. We ain't gonna braid the same.
Right.
We can all braid his hair, each one of us, but it's not gonna look the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
But back to writing.
Back to your book. She like, man, I make enough money. I want to get my book. I knew it was coming. So, like, do you ever get writer's block? Like, what help you keep you flowing?
Well, I write like 3 books sometimes at a time. So if I get writer's block
You
on
got
one,
ADHD like me then.
yeah,
You gotta do it.
absolutely. That
I
would
get
be true.
bored. Dude. I got to do it.
So I start writing another one.
Yeah.
While I'm writing that one, usually if I get an idea while I'm driving or whatever, I kind of jot it down or talk it into my phone, and then I just go back to it. Because I kind of write freestyle. I don't really do like some people do an outline. I don't do that. I
like
just
Snoop Dogg.
freestyle. Or sometimes off experiences or things I've heard. But a lot of times people think the characters in my books are me, and I say I would be wild if all of those people were me. So maybe a little bit of the experiences, but not all of them.
It's funny, man. Go ahead.
No, no.
And the way he looking at me.
No. Which in turn is really, I mean, I could see that being like a thing where you can reach a lot of people as far as with any genre of any book. I don't think it should just be to one genre, one
Absolutely.
specific, you know what I'm saying? Because you kind of get caught. It's kind of like being I guess in acting. If this role, you start this role off, this is what you're gonna be known for. Oh,
Yes.
you the funny man. This
Yes.
is what I need.
Yes,
Or,
yes,
we
yes,
can't
yes.
take you serious, but I
Yeah,
like
so-
the fact of you being a Christian woman and being diverse, being in tune with you as a woman and single or dating or, just so many different, levels of just being you. So
Yeah. I love it. This like, and people ask me, which one of your careers do you like the most? I like all of them. It's like children. I love each one of my children.
Absolutely.
equally.
I mean, we're
So I just love doing it.
multifaceted as human beings anyway. So it's just not
Yep.
one blessing. God could have blessed you with several different gifts.
Yeah. So
as
when
he did, that is shining
absolutely,
through. So,
absolutely. So when I go on book tour, every time it blows my mind. Like I meet so many people and they just want to take pictures. One of my friends went with us on book tour to Atlanta. And she said, I felt like I was with a celebrity because everybody's like, can I take a picture with her? Can you sign this? Can you do it? It was just so amazing. And all of that come from me listening to this lady. Because had I said, I ain't doing that.
Right.
I would never have had these experiences. And then that's how we developed the publishing company. I had picked a young lady to go in with me at first, but her business side wasn't, we weren't matching up on that. She'd rather be in the club partying where I'm getting my money. I'd go celebrate later, but right now we're going to need to focus on this client. And so I decided to reach out to one of my friends. I was doing her hair, and I said, what you think about going to business with me? And she was like, girl, I've been waiting for you to say that. And I taught her everything a lot of stuff. And a lot of things she brought to the table. She hit the ground running. And it was totally opposite. Somebody was an experienced writer that I was actually asking to be on that with me. So it just went bananas, like crazy. So
But
here I
then
am.
sometimes it's good to cross-pollinate anyway, because sometimes when you're dealing with people in the same vein, if they don't have security, then they want to keep you at a certain level.
And
Like,
that
they
is
don't-
exactly-
They act like she
Oh
might
my
want to go to the club, but she might just didn't want to help you because she saw you going further than her. I mean, I don't know who she is. If you
Yeah.
listen, I apologize, but
Yeah.
you know it's probably true.
No, it is. Oh, it is. Trust me.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
she reached out to me a little bit after she saw our billboards on the highway
Yeah.
about the publishing company.
Yeah.
And she's like, congratulations. I said, thank you. And I wasn't even mad with her because I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes God removed people
Yeah,
because he's
'cause-
like, this ain't the one. You
Yeah.
think she is, but she's not. So.
Cause like it's funny, like with Reverend Walden, with my executive pastor, you pastor, a lot of preachers would be like, why you have him preaching? Cause he can preach. Like, why would I not have him preaching like he preach? Cause they say, but he about to get a church real quick. And he actually passed for a minute and came back. But my thing is, why would you not try to help somebody? Because my thing is, if she a publisher, she should want you to be a better and bigger publisher than her. If I teach you something and you don't become better and bigger than me, that means I didn't teach you well, or you didn't get it, or we both failures. Because if I'm planting a seed in you and you already have your own personality and gifts you bring to the table, you should surpass me. And my thing is like Barnabas. He brought Paul into the fold of church when he was Saul or whatever, killing all the Christians. But at the end of the day, Paul became bigger than Barnabas. But Barnabas, if you look at the pyramid scheme of heaven, he got more souls because he the one brought Saul. You know what I'm saying? Paul. So at the end of the day, it's all about building your legacy and helping other people. You're supposed to be making disciples, not just at church, but in your book writing and things of that nature. So I love it what you're doing. So what made you want to own your own publishing company?
To help others because when I first started, I didn't know where to go. I was like, okay. So I just started Googling and things like that. And got some information on a publisher and did some self-publishing. After that, and I got signed, that took me to another level because I got a chance to see it from that level, being signed. And then hearing people talk about having a publishing company and all the good and the bad. And so I decided to take my connections and build this foundation where people can reach out and touch. Because one thing I didn't feel comfortable about initially for my first book was everybody I called was foreign or somebody I didn't know they could shut their business down the next day and they have my money and now I don't know who they are. So I wanted to pretty much start something where people could have somebody they could touch, somebody they could reach out and say, you know what, I can come to her office or I can see her on a virtual. So now moving forward, we have clients in Africa. We got people in Atlanta. We got people here. We got people in Vegas. And these people, some of them are virtual with us, but they get to see us. One of the doctors that we do, he has about 3 books. And he keeps coming out with stuff over and over and over again. He is in Memphis, I think it is. Either Memphis or Nashville. That's where he is. And he's comfortable with it because it's a professional setting. And we are upfront with him. Everything's contracts, proposals. There's no, you just send me your money, Cash App, ain't none of that. It's the real deal. So we got a team of people that work for us, illustrators, graphic designers, editors, and not everybody is local. Some of them are in Texas. We got people, our staff is all over, including here. And so it gives people a sense of relief of who they're dealing with. They're not dealing with somebody that they can't put their hands on. So that's what I wanted to do that for. And so that's when the other author that I told you didn't work out, that's when I got with her. I was like, let's do this. And then it just went on from there.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
what
awesome.
does that look like, though? I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man.
What does that look like?
Can you
as far as somebody coming in and say, you know what, I think I got a story to tell. I want to write a book. Okay. What is that as far as cost-wise? What does that look like? Is there a budget? Is there something that you kind of go off and say, all right, this is what 100 pages, or this is what this novel will get you, or this is what this series will get you? Is it broken down like that? Or is it
our proposals they pretty upfront and clear.
Okay.
So every situation is different. So say Maxwell has a children's book and you have an adult book, but your book is poetry, or either you got a poetry book or something.
Say we got a leadership book, since I do, so I can hear this.
All right, so we're gonna switch it. Say you got the leadership book.
So I can know.
First, it got to go through the process. We'll talk to you. We have a consultation with you, and we talk about what you need and what we do. Once we look at it, we'll get the stuff in, and then we'll shoot it out to our staff. Each person does the editing or whatever, and we'll see because sometimes what you think is good ain't always good, or it might be excellent from the beginning. So they look at it and they evaluate it, and we come up with a price for each book. Your illustrations, we'll say you got 55 illustrations. It just depends on that per page is how that's done. Your editing, we'll have the editing part broken down. So we go and all the way up to setup, to when we set your accounts up. So that's how we pretty much do it. So it varies.
So pretty much turnkey?
Mm-hmm. And it varies depending on the person and how many pages. So he might have 150 pages. You might have 200 pages. So yours is going to be a little different from his because it just depends on it. We do word count a lot, a lot of word count.
So I think I'm asking for myself as far as Dr. Maxwell, as far as because I definitely was interested in doing just kind of like a tell-all book. Because
that's gonna sell.
I'm sure the statute of limitations is up for me.
Hey, that's gonna sell, baby. The day of the life. William, Billy, Coma. Hey, boy.
I'm sure my statute of limitation up, so I can talk about everything.
Yeah.
So,
but then that ain't true.
But it's so relatable because now I can really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it touches on every aspect of just not my life, the journey, the process, the giving up, the not giving up, the blossom, the ups, the downs of just, business and life. So I think I want to kind of, talk about that. And it's just a kind of really a tell-all book. You know what I mean? I ain't got to blur out names. It's people that like, oh, I remember this. This was in the paper. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it gives you that authentic thing that's, it's not fiction. It's not a children's book. This is a real life events.
And you can do that because we have clients that do that too. We have clients that do that too, biographies and things like that. So we have one doctor. She is here locally. She did one. Then we did the prosecutor out of Hampton.
I already got the name of it, but I'll just tell you later.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
And even if it's some people that don't want to be listed or word, your disclaimer in the front of the book in your copyright section covers all of that.
Some of them dead. Some of them in the feds. Some of them out. I'm sure I had a blessing.
Yeah, because you'll be surprised at how people try to come back at you later.
Oh, yeah.
We try to protect our clients. So they're trying to come back. If you blow up with it and it turns to a movie or something, then they want to get money off it. So you got to be careful.
There's only a couple people that I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Because they're doing something different
change
with
the
their
name
life,
or,
you know what I mean?
or just put the disclaimer in the front can cover that.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to get you to get my book on Amazon.
Of course.
And wherever else I need to put it on.
Target and Walmart and
Target and Walmart.
And
all
all of them.
Yeah.
Hurry up and bite. Flea market. Man. So now you said, I know you got the number one publisher. I mean, the bestseller young lady. How did that come about? I mean, I know you talked about it, but we didn't say how you got it.
It just blew up. Like, I still can't even explain. So when I signed her, well, let me back up and tell you how I connected with her.
Yeah.
I reached out to her and I said, I read your books all the time. And with me, I don't like rejection. I'm big on, I don't like rejection. I'm like, so reached out to her. I'm actually in the Chick-fil-A line in the drive-thru and I sent her a message. I wasn't expecting her to reach back out. I was thinking maybe somebody on her team. And she responded. And she was like, oh, that's good. And what are you doing? I said, I wrote a book. It turned out really good and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, well, send me a copy of what you have now. And I said, I'm only 3 chapters in. She said, it doesn't matter. And when I sent it to her 2 weeks later, I'm in the dealership getting my car service. And I got an email that said she wanted to sign me to a series of books.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
And then when she signed me, they just put fire under me and I just started writing. I mean, like writing in between clients, writing when I'm on the bed, writing when it's snowing outside and I'm in the house, stuck in the house. I'm just writing. And I didn't have an office then. I was just doing it. I mean, besides one in the salon.
Yeah.
And it just blew up. I can't even explain it. I just looked in the thing. And initially, I wasn't happy that it was at number 7.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be number 1. I want to be number 1. And then one of my friends said, do you see who in that list with you? And I looked back and Stephen King was at number 4. And 2 of the other girls from the team was on.
That's what I'm talking about, Bob.
I was like, God, you showing off.
Stephen King.
Fable.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was just really amazing. And it just kept going and going and going and going. And in Detroit, I got awards. In Atlanta, I got awards. Everywhere. In the airport, it was just dope.
Look, let me tell you something. When you really want something and you put your mind to it, it's going to happen. Have you ever seen somebody on stage doing comedy? Ain't even funny. I don't know if you think I'm funny or not, but I get paid for it. You feel me? Because whatever you go for, whatever a man or woman thinking, so is he or she. When you press toward it, it's gonna give it to you. You know, some people say the universe, but it's God. When you put the work in it, it's gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying? You would see a movie talking about flipping butterflies kill lizards. It don't make no sense. But at the end of the day, that person kept putting work in and pressing toward it. It might not make no sense, but because of their faith, it's going to yield it to them. Faith without works is dead, so you put the work in, but it's going to give it to you, man. So the funny thing about it is, we as Christians, a lot of times we miss out on a lot of blessings because we don't walk by faith. We let some of the people in the world walk more by faith than us. You understand? So all I'm saying is whatever it is you want, go for it. She on number 7. Stephen King was number 4. She was just 3 down from Stephen King. Y'all done seen Pet Cemetery and all that stuff. All them crazy books he write. You know what I'm saying? She writing children's books. She writing, books that I can't tell you about because we talk about church. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to leave her alone. Stimulation books.
My fiction. My fiction novels,
yeah. But you just need to look at her, cause I know my dude Eugene gonna put her information down here, so you need to make sure you get in touch with her, get one of her books, and reach out to her if you want to be an author. Cause how they get in touch with you if they want to write, if they really want to write. Now, if you can't spell A, don't come. You know what I'm saying?
Branchandbrooks.com. Branch for me, Brooks for Jennifer. Branchandbrooks.com.
Oh, what I'm talking about. Branch and Brooks.
Branchandbrooks.com.
Branchandbrooks.com.
That's for the publishing company.
B&B.
Yeah.
B&B.
And the books can be found anywhere. The books are on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Just type my name in search.
So I
Terrie.
said, Google her.
And make sure that you spell Terrie right, because mostly everybody spells Terrie wrong.
I spelled it wrong. It's the E at the end.
Yes.
Terrie.
Yes.
What?
Really?
Terrie. Nah, Terrie. Hey, but look, we got to make sure you get in touch with her, like she told you when she kept pressing toward it. But what I got out of this was this. Sometimes you got to let the folk go. When I was walking up Kilimanjaro, man, and it was crazy because I'm a black person. Somebody gave me $10,000 because I was right walking up the mountain or hiking up the mountain. And I went up there like my white friends with the little hooks and stuff. We hiked up a mountain. I wasn't cliff hanging. But the thing about it was because I was black, they gave, oh man, you black and you walking up the mountain, $10,000 to go toward the water thing. But what I realized is the higher I got, the more somebody need to get rid of. So it was like, man, I had the GoPro because you wanted me to record with the GoPro on my, taped around my chest and my phone. Like, oh man, it's too heavy, mom, dad. We still got to get somebody else's picture. Take this away from me. Oh man, the phone too heavy. Like stuff would be, oh, this jacket. I know it's cold, but this layer here, I might be all right. And I had to just some of them layers had to go because the higher I got, the heavier stuff felt. I could feel the weight of my coat. Dude, you don't feel the weight of your coat when you just walking on normal. When you start getting that 10,000, 12,000, 15, then you get to 19,000 feet above sea level. It's like, man, that stuff gets heavier and heavier, and you got to just get rid of some things. You can't carry everything. When I first walked at the bottom, I was a man, I had the food, everything. I was eating wild. I probably gaining weight walking up the mountain. But then when I got higher, I had to let some of that stuff go. And she said she had to let one of the people that was one of her mentors, she had to let them go and drop it. Now, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to drop our friends. She dropped a mentor.
Yes.
So if she can drop a mentor.
It's hard because you want to see them move forward. And this young lady was a writer like me.
Yeah.
But because she was on the same team and she was always coming, I don't have this, I don't have that. I just wanted to see her. And now here I am. I've been interviewed by Writer's Digest. That's big. Yes. That's a national publication. Dude, they got my quotes in this book. Like, are you serious? What? And she could have.
The Bible says, love your enemies. It's like pouring hot coals on their head, which means either God gonna burn them up because they ain't doing you right, or God gonna burn them and it's gonna purify them and they gonna get right. But either way it goes, when you love your enemy, God gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you did the right thing. Yeah. God still bless you. Here you are on Writer's Digest, number 7 in the name pool of Stephen King. You understand? So that's big. So we just give a shout out to her. We celebrate you and we thank you, black woman, for what you do. Man, I mean, to be a black woman, a minority, and a woman at the same time, to be able to press through that. What's your excuse? What's your excuse for not doing what God asked you to do? What's your excuse? She black, she a woman, didn't know anything about writing, started writing without an office, started writing in between clients doing hair. And don't get it twisted, she don't do braids.
And didn't go to school for it.
And didn't go to school for it.
Let's unpack that.
Say it again.
Didn't go to school for it.
Didn't go to school for it. She already got the gifts.
So some say favor ain't fair.
Look, man, this is the thing. I got a doctorate degree in education because I used to be a principal, a special education teacher, principal, administrator, or whatnot. You know, I'm big on education, but I'm also big on your gifts. And a lot of times education is just there to weed you out to see what you can do. Like if you graduate one school.
Well, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, licensed barber, licensed instructor, and a licensed makeup artist. Yeah. So I went to school separately for all of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that ain't what they would call.
But that ain't what caused, because I was doing this for candy money when I was a child at 11 years old.
For candy money.
Yes, in the neighborhood.
She wasn't worried about.
So they already knew I was an entrepreneur and didn't even know it.
That's what I'm talking about. Your gifts will make room for you. So. Yes, if you can get the education, get it. But if you can't, still continue to press on because God gifted you. Before you was in your mother's womb, God already knew you. He already knew you was gonna be a prophet. He already knew you was gonna be an author. He already knew you was gonna be a camera person. He already knew you was gonna be on TV. He already knew you were gonna be a businessman or businesswoman. He already has gifts in you. Walk in your gifts. Don't let anybody stop you. When people get in your way or they're not walking on your level, you got to drop them off. Because you know what life is? People like rocket boosters. You know, have you seen the space shuttle take off? It takes off and then some of the boosters fall off because they only can take you to one level, but after a while when they run out of gas, they have to fall back down to the earth into the ocean. Why? Because they only could take that so far, and then they couldn't continue to hold that weight after it used all the resources that happened. So you got to learn how to do this. Sometimes, you know what one of my favorite movies is? Ray Charles. Man, Ray Charles would drop somebody in a minute. You know what I'm saying? If he felt like he got to this level and you couldn't do it, he dropped you off like a rocket booster because you weren't able to handle where he was going. And everybody can't go where you go. The same way I was talking about in Kilimanjaro, you got to start dropping off some of the weight. The Bible said lay aside the weight. You got to lay aside the weight of not only your sinful nature, but lay aside the weight of some people that aren't going where you going.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Totally agree.
Yeah, so you escape your statute of limitations. Like he had to escape some friends and start this. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hang around. Everybody used to hang around there. The book coming out. I don't know if it's 2023 or 2024. You know what I'm saying? He gonna
How soon is it coming out? How soon is it coming out?
It just depends on you.
Oh, I
You
knew
can
she was
make it
gonna do
happen.
it. What? You write it. She said they edit. They don't
We
write.
can make it happen. But we also need to connect because me and my girlfriends, we have our wine releasing in February.
Okay,
Well,
let's do
really
it.
January, but
Let's do it.
But you can be Ghost.
yeah.
Like Phil.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kid Patrick. You know.
So I'm
I mean,
excited.
Ghost
but
Riders.
I learned that in life. I used to hear it. My mother used to say, "All right, you can't take everybody where you're going at. You started here, and then you went here and here and here, and there's elevation to it." The funny thing is, that's even with people that, that's even with people you're intimate with on an intimate level.
Oh, yes.
That is a huge thing. So I started.
Wait a minute. Say that part one more time.
Yeah, on an intimate level. So I was dating people that I was like, Lord, I'm struggling here. I'm doing my construction company. I know I'm doing stellar work. I'm doing this. And he's like, stay here. As soon as I got rid of them,
Reverend.
Yes.
Reverend.
Yes. Because sometimes you can be with people that
what
are.
was that, a rocket?
Yeah.
Stuff fella.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now
And
let
that
it go.
elevation, that gravity pull, God
Teddy
was
tried to
pulling me
take-
closer and closer.
Yeah.
And say, look, I'm taking you out of space, homeboy. Here we go. So when I touched this, I was like, dang, we made history. And it's just it's been one hell of a journey. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And I know that God is behind it, Faith was behind it, Praying Mother's behind it, and just ambitious. And I've always been an ambitious person to the point where I'm telling Doc, look, let's jump out there, bro. Let's do it. He didn't want to do it because of the reservations, but you know what? God is ever true to everything that we ever dreamed of,
That's right.
embarked on. So I'm just blessing for him, blessing for you, your journey, your journey, everybody. We all in
'cause-
together,
yes,
all a journey.
yes.
You know what I mean? So-
And sometimes people you don't have to talk to a person every day. You don't have to see a person every day, but they can inspire, and that's what you do to me. And I told you more than once, because I remember when I said, I'm gonna write this first book. And then when it was certain people I wanted to tell as soon as it came out, and you were one of them. So I inboxed him, I was like, look what came out. He was like, you did it.
Yes.
And that warmed my heart to see somebody that I look up to be like,
Absolutely.
yeah, because you got so many people like, oh, okay.
You ain't gonna do it.
And they
You
might
can't
not
do it, girl.
Yeah, because when we got ready to do our school for hair, one of the girls that I knew, she was in the chair, and I was doing her. I was like, yeah, me and my partners, we're gonna open a school for hair. She was like, oh, okay. And to me, that is saying you can't do it. So she came back a few weeks later, maybe like a month later, and she saw all these Caucasian people, and then she was like, who are they? I said, oh, they wait for our students. Oh, you did it. What did you think?
Because people try to
'Cause
put
people
their
try to-
limitations
Yes.
on you. And see, my thing is, we all gifted at something. I might do comedy. I might preach. I might do this. I can't get behind the camera and do that. I can't tell Eugene
Yeah.
and
Get
his
that
people what
specialist
to
to do
do.
it.
You know what I'm saying? I can't tell him what type of wine or whatever to bring in here. You understand?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
at the end of the day, you got to understand we all gifted in different areas. And you just got to respect those gifts. But see, this is what you got to learn how to do. You can't hang around non-gifted people.
Yeah, but see, these are
Non-gifted people get jealous of you.
Exactly. And so I cut people off like that, but when you're in the midst, so I don't share everything with everybody.
you
Like
can't.
only a handful of people knew that we were doing. I'd be like, oh, you doing too much.
Ooh, I hate that.
Are
Like,
you
just because
serious?
you can't do it, like, I still
Are
try to
you
do more on
serious?
my crutches than folk do on a regular leg now.
I had a lady yesterday to say that to me, and she's not a friend. She's a client. And somebody asked me a question and she overheard it. Oh, girl, you need to leave the job for somebody else. Girl, be quiet.
Because you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Don't put it on me. Because you're not wired like that. I'm wired to be successful. Yeah. I sleep when I'm tired.
Oh, my God.
This is the whole thing, man. I'm writing a sermon series now on wealth. And the thing about it is, now I'm learning, like now because I hurt my leg, I sleep more than I usually sleep. So I don't get some stuff done. Yeah. But some people sleep all the time. If you sleeping more than what your body needs, you're just lazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And faith without works is dead. You can't hang around slowful people. That's right. So lazy people can always tell you got too much. So my thing is, if my life give you anxiety, if my life stretch you out, stop watching me. Because at the end of the day, it ain't gonna stop because you're telling me to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
just because you saying you can't do all these different things don't mean I can't. All of my stuff lines up with the vision. I don't do anything outside of the vision God gave me. Everything lines up with the kingdom.
But this is another one the lady told me. Now, and these are not people I hang around because I don't have the time like that because I'm so always busy. She says, you need to get you a husband so you don't have to work so hard.
Wow.
Say what?
Wow.
First of all, I don't work. I have careers. That's number one. And I can't help that's what you want to do. If you want to just, kill your husband, you might have a good man, but you're going to kill him because you're going to work him to death trying to take care of you. You got to pull together. This ain't.
Well, he going to find a character in your book.
It reminds me of a quote. It's actually a rap quote. And it's funny because he said, no one built like you. You designed yourself. He said, I see my one. He started talking to himself. I see my one of a kind self. You get stoned every day like Jesus did. But it just goes to show you from this cat that was from the projects, there was nothing, that was crack dealer, that was projects, pissy hallways, elevators, is now billionaire and an icon forever.
Yes.
So everyone has to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
We don't have Rockefeller money. We wasn't born in it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody that looks like us.
Absolutely.
I can't name one.
Yeah.
So we started from the mud, the sandbox is what, my son would say. And then that just takes life. So it's a lot of billionaires. There's only 15 black billionaires, but we're on that scale. See what I'm saying? So it just tells you everything is tangible, it's reachable, it's accessible. You know what I'm saying? You just got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, and I don't feel like there's nothing I cannot do.
Absolutely.
As long as I got God on my side, nothing I can't do.
And you too. Put this heart in right quick. Heart surgery.
Yeah.
Scalpel.
Yeah, ain't nothing I can't do. Like, God is
I just
good.
need to see it. You know what I'm saying? And the rest kind of, I believe that God got me.
You got to understand, man. He said, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to do greater exploits than him. You understand? He raised people from the dead. So what's greater than that? Man, you got so many gifts in you that you're not even tapping into that you got to start discovering. And sometimes you got to separate yourself, even if not forever, but for a season. Because God going to bring the people you need to have in your life. But you got to look at it. And it said, and when David was alone. And it said, and when Moses was alone. And when Jacob was alone, he wrestled God at Peniel. You got to understand, every great man or woman of God in the Bible, you see them, they got to a place by themselves and were isolated. Ruth was alone, you know what I'm saying, before she found Boaz. You got to understand, you got to get to a place by yourself. COVID was trying to help us, even in the midst of the pandemic, even in the midst of negativity. COVID was trying to help you because it was trying to separate you and get you where you understood who God was. Because sometimes you can't hear God because of all the idle noise and white noise around you. You got to be able to be connected right to him so he can show you who he is and show you who you are in him. The reason she can write books, the reason he can start constructing business, the reason why he can have multiple restaurants, the reason why I can have multiple businesses is because we understand that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, but every now and then we got to get by ourselves away from everybody, and some people don't understand it. Oh, why you ain't calling back? Why you answer the phone? Because I was working on something. I'm working on a sermon, and when people don't respect me working on a sermon, I don't want to talk to you no more. If I tell you I'm working on a sermon and you think I'm lying, and that one thing, I might lie to you, I will. But if I say I'm working on a sermon, that's what I'm doing now.
But be Michael Jordan and do this.
I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I lie. I ain't gonna act like I won't. But all I'm saying is, if I say I'm working on a sermon, leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Respect my space.
I relate that back in the day when my grandma would get ready to clean up and you in the way. She's like, y'all get over there, sit down, get out of the way. I feel like God make us sit down so that he can clean up. Anything that is around us that we need, the air, everything, just clean it up. And he like, sit down. I'm cleaning up. And I feel like that's how
it was. Was it lightning outside when she told you to sit down?
Yeah.
Sit down. TV off.
She be like, shh. And then she say, it's an electrical storm. But the refrigerator still plugged up, though. Grandma! But we didn't want to say that, though, because she'll smack you in your mouth. So you all that talking back. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, when God's cleaning up, he'll make us sit down, and I appreciate all of it. I'm a serial entrepreneur and an author, so it's just amazing, to be.
Hey, I know we say bring the smoke, but sometimes we bring the smoke, I might not answer. Because I got to get my stuff together. You understand? And you got to understand, sometimes God will take you into a season of separation.
That's right.
Because really, anointed or what sanctification means to be separated, but also mean to be separated unto, which means he may separate you from people, places, and things, but he separates you from that unto himself and begins to align you with who you need to be aligned with. Now, don't get me wrong. The vision God has you, as you see, she went and got another partner. The vision God has for you is bigger than you, and you're going to need people. The clue that is not a vision of God is when it's small. If you're small enough for you to do it by yourself, it's not God. But what I'm telling you is, don't go out and look for the people. God will send you the people when you get into your prayer closet, and he will show you who it is you need to be connected with. So she sat in there, she called somebody who wasn't even writing books to bring it to her vision because God showed her who she was. And sometimes it's good to get people who have work ethic and who have intellect and who have integrity, and you can mold them to what you need them to be to help you to be what you go. And sometimes God will send you a ready-made product.
That's that work.
And at the end of the day, man, he was on my show. Like, I'm gonna just keep it the hate that come for him that he don't even know about. But I'm gonna put up here because I don't tell hate unless it's beneficial. I just, people like, oh man, so you ain't gonna be on praise no more. You got him. He don't even go to church. He don't do that. I like, look. He came on my show. We talked about business. We talked about real estate, and it helped. And I'm reaching a whole nother demographic of people. So, we come together, he brings his people, I bring my people, you bring your people. And at the end of the day, you got to learn how to cross-pollinate.
What they don't know is I grew up in church, my family owned a church.
Well, he getting mad.
I was studying to be a pastor. I want to go back.
But you know what? It goes back to this. I wrote my books, and each one of my books, when they come out, I write, thank you, Lord, and I sign a date. That first book that come out that box. A young lady told me, oh, so you write erotica, and you wrote, thank you, Lord, and here, God gave me the vision, so you shut up.
Amen.
Right.
Period. Like that, my relationship with God has nothing to do with you.
Even with that, even with Doctor jumping out here doing the pot, why you doing the smoke? What's that about?
His vision
why you doing real estate?
is beyond what they know.
Councilman, why you doing this? Because God gave me. Oh, I'm sorry, He left you. Right. Said you could turn a wrench. I'm sorry. That's the only gift you got. I'm sorry about that. He gave me a whole bunch of gifts. I'm sorry.
What? Say it again.
Ain't fair.
Say it again. Say favor ain't what? Favor ain't what?
Ain't fair.
That's right. Yeah. So that's where it goes back when the lady told me, let me tell you, me and my partners, and I can talk about it a little bit more now, we're going to release this wine. And I remember going to a wine event with this lady, and she knew all the connects. And I was like, you know what? One day I want to do it. She's like, oh, you're doing enough already. And she would not connect me. But I met this one lady at that event. And she came to me when my third book came out, bought me a bag with a bottle of wine. And it triggered me to ask her. I was like, yeah, I want to do my wine one day. But the lady was like, she said, yeah, she kind of funny. She don't want to see nobody go above her.
Exactly.
Baby, that lady's still my Facebook friend. And we about to drop this wine on that Facebook page. And everywhere else. So nothing you did, even my makeup line, a guy, he would not tell me he had his own products for hair care and stuff, and he had a manufacturer for it, and he would not tell me. He would always bring me the lip gloss. I just wanted to do lip gloss, and he would bring me the paper.
Wait, you gonna slip that in there? The makeup line. We ain't heard
the
nothing
makeup
about
line.
the makeup line.
The makeup, yeah, I got so much. I got a lot going on. But so he would not, and I'm saying these because they're so much alike. He wouldn't show me anything but the price list for him. And the pictures, he would never show me who the manufacturer was. He would never give me that information. So fast forward some years, he's my one of my Facebook friends now, and my makeup line has been selling in Belize. It's been selling all over the United States, and I have been we've been owning that company now since 2014. And so what God has for me is for me. Ain't no way you gonna stop it, no matter what you say. And there's so many different things that I do when I do go on book tour. They want all this stuff to come with me. Like they want my makeup, they want all that. So this lady and this man, it was nothing they could do to stop me. And both of them are Facebook
because you already,
because like you said,
you're a
favorite
brand at this point. So you carry yourself as a brand. I'm not just this. I am my own brand. So if it's makeup, it's hair, it's this, it's books, it's this, all of that. You know what I'm saying? All of that is the package. You are your own brand. So when people understand that you are your own brand, I'm my own brand, they understand that it ain't just one thing I'm doing. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It comes with the brand.
And that's our eat,
the whole
sleep, and
point,
dream business. Oh
That's
my
it.
God. Sometimes I get mad at myself because I can't even sleep through the night. I wake up in the middle of the night with
Ideas.
Like,
What
come
I'm
on
saying?
now.
Exactly.
So to tell me you doing too much or leave a job for somebody else.
That's a poverty mindset. Even rich people can have a poverty mindset. And you leave money on the table that God want to give you, because the Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive. If I help you and God increases you, He gonna increase me because I helped you.
Yeah.
You understand?
And you have said that so many times.
He gonna increase
I tell you
me
that all the time.
because I'm increasing you.
Yeah, 'cause you
and He
understand.
wants me to help. He didn't give me my gifts just for me. He gave me my gift mostly to help other people.
You about to make me
Iron
scream.
sharpens iron. Right? You can't just sharpen a knife in the air like this. You got to get another knife or another piece of metal to sharpen it. And that's what we have to do, sharpen each other. And God didn't gift us just to keep it to us. And that's a poverty mindset. See, my series coming out about wealth.
And you know, when you preach from the pulpit and you say stuff like, I remember way back on tabs, like all the stuff you said about how you don't get jealous of me. Hold on to my coattail. If I go up, you go up. All that stuff. I've seen you do it.
Because
and that's what's so inspirational.
if you pushing me forward, and if I'm in front of you, that means wherever I'm walking, you taking on the back of my footsteps. That means I'm dropping blessings for you.
That's right.
Right? If I'm the cup and you help undergird me, you the sauce. It's gonna fall on you, because God give you a good measure of blessing, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. And it runs over to the people that help you and bless you. You can't bless me and not get blessed, and you can't curse me and not get cursed. Because the Bible said, I bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you, and all the generations will be blessed. Through this covenant right here, God blesses those who blesses me. And anybody got a covenant with the seed of Abraham who believes in Jesus Christ, He's going to bless you. If you bless me, God gonna bless you. If you curse me, God gonna curse you. I don't have to sit up there and worry about certain things. You know, I had to worry about, like, God wouldn't tell me when that little article or whatever lied about me when he brought the campaign stuff. God said I couldn't say that. I know the stuff of God to do whatever He want to do in His due time, but I ain't worried about that because God said I had to be quiet. But at the end of the day, whoever cursed me, their life ain't gonna go right.
That's right.
I don't have to worry about vengeance. I don't have to look about who did this and who did that and who lied on me, because God gonna handle my enemies. I'm still blessed. My bank account still look good. You know, it's sexy. My bank account.
This dude here, man.
Get your friend. Get your friend.
Right.
Get your friend.
Right.
Get your friend. He your friend.
Come on, let's go.
Get your friend. Get your friend.
They'll know
Cut
you
the
went
video.
out. They gonna
Video
all right.
Look,
Hey,
recording over.
We're going to cut it down. Go ahead and give us a finishing word. You got it. You give us a finishing word, and I'm going to be quiet.
I'm just excited and thankful for you guys having me here to tell a little bit about what I do. One of the things I forgot to mention was my entertainment company, Played at Hampton Roads, where we do game nights for adults. It's franchise. But I'm really inspired by you both. And I'm grateful to be here with all you guys, because this is what I feed off, you know. I feed off good energy, because I feel like we hold hands, we can get further. My grandmama used to always say, you put all fingers together and make a fist, it strikes a more powerful blow. And when we all come together like this, we can affect people in our community. We can inspire somebody that might need that push, you know. And then it also allowed me to share, like, from my heart, how much you inspire me. And I think we're Facebook friends already. My cousin knows you because she does construction too.
Okay.
And just to watch our people.
Who's your cousin?
Haley's Roofing.
Okay.
Just to watch our people go to the next level, you know, and to have an opportunity to speak to people, because there are people that want to write, but there are people that are sitting on stuff and they're scared to do it. And to see someone like myself, I'm not the best, but I know, like I used to say, I know I ain't Holly Berry, but I ain't Chuck Berry either. You know, but I have a lot that can help the next person, and that's my goal. Pretty much you can reach me, branchybooks.com. for publishing and everything. You can follow me on social media. Terrie Boss Lady Branch, Terrie, Boss Lady, one word,
Boss
Branch. And Instagram, author_Terrie_L_Branch. And everything else you can get from there, whether it's NAACP stuff, Payday Hampton Roads, whatever, you can get that from there.
Let's go.
Okay. We're 1865, but for the weak, pressure brush pipes. For the strong, it also makes diamonds. Keep going.
Make diamonds. Get out of here.
That's her.
They blood diamonds.
Whatever it is, they ain't lab diamonds.
Hey man, anyway, this is another edition of Bring the Smoke. Again, we reaching out into different avenues, and I want to thank our guest, Miss Terrie Branch, with an E at the end, right? And again, my dude always, Brother Coma in the house, letting us, we partner over here, and we always over here at 1865, so we can make sure that we design different baits to catch different fish to bring you to the kingdom of God. All right? Hallelujah.